Hey everyone. So, I wanted today to give you my thoughts on the Cover FX Anti-Aging Primer. There's what the container looks like. It has 1 fluid ounce. It is also $38. But first, look at these earrings that Linda Lou, I will link her channel below. She makes jewelry. She sent me these as a wedding gift. They are absolutely beautiful. So if you're interested in any kind of jewelry, I will link her channel below. They're absolutely beautiful. Thank you, Linda, again. Anyway, back to the primers. So I am not one that's usually into primers. Now let me just give you a rundown of the primers that I have used through the years. When I was in my 20s, my skin was combination to oily, and I definitely wished they had primers back then, but they didn't. So a lot of times my blush, I put it on and within a couple hours it was gone. So what I was doing back then, I was like sandwiching it. So I'd put my blush on, there was no contour, there was no bronzer. I would put the blush on, and then, I'd put my foundation on, I'd powder, put my blush on, and then I'd put powder over it to try to make, and it would last a little bit longer by sandwiching it together. But, as time went on, out came primers. So, I have tried from drugstore to high-end primers. And now my skin is, I would say, at times it's normal, but for the most part it's dry. So through the years I've tried Rimmel, I've tried L'Oreal Visible Blur, Monistat, It Cosmetics, both of the primers, the white one and then the serum one, the Professional Bare Minerals Face Primer, Makeup Forever Face Primer, Laura Mercier, her Mineral Primer, Smashbox, and Laura Geller, and Rimmel, which I might have said. So, I've tried all those, and so the last one I was probably using, I went between, because the Professional, I still had some. I loved what the Professional did, because, I've enlarged pores, and it kind of blurred things, but the problem with that on my skin was I felt like it dried it out. So, then I was using the serum by It, which wasn't bad, but I pretty much had stopped using primers and was just using my moisturizer. I don't have an issue really with makeup disappearing on me at this point in my life. So, the reason why I purchased this is because I was watching Tati from Glam Life Guru. She had done a review on this primer mixed with the Cover FX drops. So I had watched the drops really interest me. Not so much the primer, but the drops. But she mixed the drops with the primer, and it looked beautiful on her skin. She has beautiful skin, but it really looked pretty on her skin. So she had a coupon code for, I think at the time, it was like 25% off. So it was like the day before the Sephora VIB, that you had 15%. So I was going to originally buy the drops with the sale, but then once I saw her review and 25% off, I thought, oh. So before the wedding, so I bought this with the drops. So, let me give you a little idea of what it claims. First of all, this was originally called the Skin Prep FX. So it says it's a nourishing foundation primer and anti-aging serum that preps the skin prior to foundation application. This foundation primer also doubles as an anti-aging serum, in addition to prepping the skin prior to foundation application and facilitating blending and extended wear. This reparative primer hydrates and smooths skin to blur the appearance of fine lines and pores. It's clinically tested and vegan. It's free of parabens, fragrance, gluten, mineral oil, and talc. What's in here for the anti-aging part of it is coenzyme Q10, vitamins F, C, and E, and squalene and hyaluronic acid, which, as you all know, hyaluronic acid that I have from Timeless, I would swim in it if I could. So, here's what the primer looks like. Nice squeezy tube. And there's what it looks like. It is I don't know if it's yellow. There's a slight scent, but nothing offensive. Now, like, for example, the primer from It Cosmetics, the serum primer, to me, that scent is kind of overwhelming. I mean, it's a nice scent. It's fresh, but it's kind of overwhelming. It does go away once it goes on the face. So I'm going to apply this to my hands, and I wanted to show you my hands. As you can see, they're looking a bit crunchy. So I'm going to put this on one hand, and then we'll compare them and see. So, I bought this primer to try. Not that I really needed a primer. And, you know, here's my thing about this. First of all, Cover FX, seriously, $38. Come on. That's the first thing. It is a bit on the pricey side. But, you know, the thing that I like about this, it does have a dimethicone feeling, but it's not super slippery, if that makes sense. Now this is where I fell in love with this product. So, pea drop size I apply to my face. I go up and under my eyes. Probably not supposed to, but I do. So my skin is prepped, and how I prep my skin is depending on the time of day, depending on what I'm doing. Always hyaluronic acid, then it's vitamin C, whatever, or sunblock, or it's just CeraVe moisturizing lotion. I allow my products to absorb as long as I have the time to. I don't like to apply things on top of wet. I don't. So then, once the moisturizer is pretty much absorbed, I then go on my primer. I also let my primer set. I'm not saying I wait 20 minutes, probably like maybe 5. But here's where I was quite impressed with it. It really does, in my opinion, on my skin, blur fine lines, pores. It really does. The problem I used to have with the other primers was that it might have done that, but then as soon as I applied my foundation, all that like really smooth canvas went away, where I don't feel like it does with this primer. I feel like it stays exactly how my skin looks prior to. I really do feel like it smooths out, and it stays that way. It's not a temporary, like before, you know how like when you put your primer on and how pretty your skin looks, and then you apply your foundation and it looks okay. Your makeup does last. I wore this for my wedding. Cover FX, I wore you. It lasted the whole entire time. The only thing that came off was my lips, as I had stated in another video. But look at, there's the one without. Look at how smooth. I don't know, I'm hoping it's coming across. That's why I wanted to use my hands more than my face. And I'm, you know, holding my fists the same way, so I'm not, you know. But if you can see how smooth that looks. And then, once you apply your foundation, it stays that way. Like, that's like with the Professional. Though it dried my skin out, but my skin looked so pretty with it on. As soon as I would apply a liquid or a powder, I felt like my skin looked as it did before a primer. Where I don't with this one. So this is the hand with, this is the hand without. I absolutely love this. Now, if you're interested, now Cover FX also has a other primers. You know, this isn't the only one, the anti-aging one. They have a mattifying, they have, I don't know if they have a brightening one, but I would suggest getting a sample. That, to me, is the only way that I feel like you would get an idea of how it would work on your skin. You know, when watching reviews, obviously we keep open minds, and, you know, what I find really enjoyable, you may go out and get a sample, not like it at all on your skin. Even if we have the same kind of skin, our body chemistries are different. So, truly what works for me may not work for you. But I love this. I mean, and I just did one thin coat, but it, you know, there's dimethicones in it, but it's, I don't know if it's like because it's mixed with anti-aging, it doesn't feel as slippery as other ones. It just feels soft, if that makes sense. So, I love this. Unfortunately, it's $38. But, you know, it does blur, and it stays blurred. Like, when I wear this under my makeup looks the same to me hours later. And I don't feel like anything is settled, where using other primers, I do. That's why I love this so much, is because of how it stays exactly the way it on my skin. So, any questions or comments, please leave them below, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a great day.